I have been a Unity game developer for about 4 years now, but I still consider myself a beginner. But a couple of days ago, I was challenged by another Unity game developer to make a game in just 3 days. And if I can complete this game in 3 days and make it better or even at least a little bit good, then I can progress from beginner to professional. So in the next 3 days, we're going to be doing a challenge of making a game, but we both have different themes. So it's time to figure out mine.
My theme is light is the key.
Light is the key. Here we go. The first thing that came to mind when I saw light is the key was top down. For some reason, I wanted to make an exploration game where you fight off enemies, and I thought it was a really interesting idea, but I forgot the time limit I had. I had already overscoped even before making the prototype. While making the prototype, I just made sure that I got a lot of basic things working. Things like Unity 2D lighting, player movement, and the core and basic mechanic of the game.
I just spent like 2 to 3 hours working on, this little prototype here. Honestly, I actually don't like it. I made the 2D lighting in Unity work, but this is just not fun.
After making this, I quickly realized that this is not going to be a fun game, and it will be really hard for me to finish what I have planned in the matter of days that I have. So I changed everything.
What's up, boys? It's day 2 and it's time to get started working. Well, it's officially not day 2, but we count this as day 2.
I was trying to avoid making a normal platformer game that I always make, but I ended up coming back to it. So maybe the next game dev challenge, I'll try to avoid making a platformer game. Still trying to avoid making the normal games that I make, I decided to stray away from using, pew pew and using hit, which means I didn't use shooting, I used melee instead. Using the Blackthorn Pro tutorial, it was really easy to make, even if some part of the code got messy at a point because I used Notepad. But after the main mechanics were done in the prototype, I decided to, make art. And this is one of the first time I'm going to be making game art. So please go easy on my character designs, guys.
It's really late, but I'm about to go ahead and work on the pixel art, the art basically for the game. I think I'm going to go with a little like pixel artist style. That's what I'm doing. Sprite. It's currently really late. It's like about 12 o'clock. Like look at this. Like it's literally dark. But I think I'm not even in my room. I'm in the lobby, the reception or whatever I call it. But I think I'm just going to go ahead and work on the character. This is going to take me a lot of time, but I think I got a nice base down.
First of all, I decided to design the main character, which wasn't really hard. I took a lot of reference pictures from like electricians and Bob the Builder and some shit like that, and even Wreck-It Ralph. I know that making pixel art you have to use references, so I took references and tried to make out a character.
I just got all the coloring done, and it doesn't seem bad to me. Like look at how cute it looks. I took some references from like Bob the Builder and shit, and Wreck-It Ralph to make this little jumper cross belt shitty thingy. But yeah, it's looking kind of cute. I think it will fit into the game. All I need to add is like a little like torchlight here, but I'm going to work on that. But I think I'm okay with the character.
I don't think the character is, ugly or anything. It's just funny looking. After a couple of minutes, I was done with the main character, so I just had to do the different poses for animation in the game, which I later didn't even add. But I worked on animation and poses for a couple of minutes, and it looks great. I think my game is going to look pretty good after this art. I decided to design the NPC and like the background things. First of all, I wanted the enemies to be cards, because my first idea for the game was to make it an electrician game where you use light. You have to restore light. Like light is the key. You restore the light and the place is fixed. I don't know what I was thinking. It was a really complex theme. I played it off as it was simple, but it was really complex and it confused me for a long time. After working on the enemy, which I ended up deciding that it was going to be a blob because a figment of your imagination in the dark, I then worked on like a lamp, which I'm not gonna lie, it looks really good. Then gave the enemy animation and went on into imputing them into the prototype. It already looks really great, especially the lighting and shit. So with a little bit of programming, I was able to make the enemy walk well, and the enemy was now able to take damage from the player and also, damage the player. The game is not really fun. I added score here and there and made UI. I also designed this star, whatever this shit is. It's supposed to be a lightning, but it looks bad. At this point, I had used up my 3 days, but I had only used like 2 days of my actual time. So I asked Remek for extra time, because I just didn't do shit. And we actually agreed that we would take 1 more day to just work on the game and improve the game and, maybe fix some bugs. It was basically me crunching on the last day and working on things like game loop, and I just didn't get it. At the end of the day, it didn't really work because it's just the same amount of difficulty. You play it and you beat it and it's the end. I tried to implement the boss, but at the end of the day, the boss refused to work. So what can we do? It's a challenge. You just have to finish before the time. I finally finished the game and submitted it on itch.io, but it's not one of my proudest projects, but I'll take it. Now let's take a look at the games we both made. This is my game, probably one of the most shit games you ever see made in 3 days. And this is Remek's game, which is, holy shit, bro, this is a finished game. Well, this is embarrassing. This game is like 16 times better than mine, so I guess I'm still a beginner. Okay, you guys need to show him some love on his itch.io and his YouTube channel. Link in the description below. But yeah, I did another one of these videos, but against the Godot game developer, if you're interested in watching another.